So, for the first time ever on the channel, we'll be doing a model train custom. So before we even begin this, you might have a few questions. 1. Are you qualified to even make a model train custom, let alone a custom of a railroad that nobody knows about except for you and some other people? No. Will I be doing said custom? Yes. And the next thing is, what the well, if you've been on the channel before, you've definitely heard the name Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad, as it's appeared 2 times on the channel. Now for a bit of a brief history on the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad. I do plan on making a full history of it, but right now, we're doing a brief history. In 1982, 2 groups were planning on to purchase the track. The old track that used to be owned by Conrail, and before Conrail, Penn Central, and then Pennsylvania Railroad. The track was supposed to be used for recreational use and others for continuous freight travel for the Titusville industry. These 2 groups came together in 1983 to form the Oil Creek Railway Historical Society and purchased the track and buildings and real estate on June 6, 1986. So we know their history. What about this guy? On a trip I went to Gettysburg recently, not too long ago, I went to this hobby shop they had there. I went to 2 hobby shops they had there. The first one I went to had a lot of HO stock, and when I went into the aisle to see what they had for the HO rolling stock, I saw this coach. The coach you are seeing in my possession now came from right here in this image. So, you might be thinking now, you've told us the history of the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad, and you've told us the history of the coach that you got from that train shop. What does this have to do with anything about the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad? Well, you can't go on a passenger excursion through some woods with some oil history in it without lounging on some nice cars. These are the cars the Oil Creek and Titusville uses. And, well, you could see the similarities between my car for the model train and for the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad. So after 2 minutes about rambling on about a random railroad that nobody knows about, it was finally time to show off the coach, me painting it. I'm about to do the scariest process of my life without trying to get murdered by HO fans, which is going to be painting this coach's roof white. Because I want it to be representative of the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad coaches, which have white roofs and like cherry black paint. But for here we got brown because it's basically close enough. So we're going to do a time-lapse video. So I'm not going to be speaking anymore because you're going to see the time-lapse. So I'm going to pause it right now so that way I can do the first, I'm going to just show the roof off real quick. Just show it off before we really get into this because this will be the last time this coach has a black roof. Okay, let's do it. Okay. Here we go. Now beginning. Oh, wait. One thing I should probably do. Give me 1 minute. Second. Okay, before you clean your models, you can see there's a lot of dust on here, so get me started. Let's see the time right now. Let's see how fast each of the newbies trusted me flies away. Probably after owning a pretty rare item, I'm going to modify it. We are done. The roof is now fully cleaned with dust. It is mostly clean. Now we just gotta wait for this to dry for like a few seconds, and it's already drying right now. You just don't want to paint it wet, like when it gets on this, because it's gonna speed up the process. I don't know if I got anything to hold this up. You know what? We go from cars. Okay, that's gonna do great. Now, here, I'm gonna push this back just so that way people can see what I'm gonna do. Now, I'm gonna get a fan on, and I'm just gonna speed up the process of the drying. It is now showtime. Okay, I've waited long enough. You've waited long enough to damn this. There's no going back whatsoever. Begin the process of the paint montage. trying to paint the roof right now. I don't want to get the rest all messed up. Let's go to the video. Nice big one right there. Yeah, he looks so kind of good right now. And something like don't commit domestic battery. I'm not trying to coach, especially when it's like big poopy stinky rave. Not my fault. I have one thing only, and that's to create the oil creek until and that will be accomplished. Oh, there we go, that's our first. Okay. Just try to squeeze this. Okay, we should be good. Okay, right here. Nice strokes. Okay, how much money I lost right now? Like, it's just $20. I think it was like lower than that, so. Oh yeah, that's looking so big right now. It's a long. That's so nice right there. Look at that. It's so close. Oh, bomb alert. You're really shot.
What? 1 second. I need to see if I have permission to tell you.
Oh, look at that. It's just almost. I'm gonna post this tomorrow morning on Facebook. I think you're done. After committing probably a moderate railroading sin. Just paint the roof here. Squeeze it a little bit. There's a little black. There we go. That is how you make an Oil Creek and Titusville Railway coach. Now,